The Arsenal fan base today has gone absolutely mental over the signing of Madueke. And I'm not gonna lie, the Arsenal fans have this reputation of they're too overreactionary when they haven't really considered the other side of the deal or the other side of the story. And I've spent the last little bit kind of thinking about this transfer, right? Madueke to Arsenal. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, it didn't really hit the spot. It wasn't those transfers where you're like, okay, yeah, this is a perfect fit. It was a transfer where you kind of had to like second guess it, you know? Kind of spend a little bit of time thinking about why it's happened. So Fabrizio announced today that Madueke has joined Arsenal for a reported fee of £52 million. Now, 52 million, when I first looked at it, I'm like, damn, that's hefty. That ain't cheap. 52 million to Chelsea. That ain't cheap. And we all know Arsenal's kind of historical track record when signing players from Chelsea. You have Havertz for 60 mil. You just got Kepa now. Madueke. The list goes on. Gallas, Benayoun, David Luiz. Back in the day, man. Arsenal and Chelsea have kind of just thrown away the rivalry, the London derby, and they've become best friends when it comes to transfers. They love doing it, and history speaks for itself. I was actually very surprised that this deal got wrapped up quite quick. I mean, I think the Arsenal board have been moving quite fast with certain transfers. Obviously, the Gyökeres one hasn't gone through, but Kepa, Norgard, Madueke now in the space, and Zubimendi in the space of like, I think a month it is. The Arsenal board have kind of reacted very well in terms of how poor they did last summer and January. They didn't really sign anyone to improve their depth last summer, and we saw the effects of that last season. Now, last season, I guess, playing style aside, Arsenal struggled with injuries. They didn't have the correct depth in order to fill in for the boots of like Odegaard, Saka, these big players, these big decisive players for Arsenal who effectively without their presence they couldn't really get over the line in many games. From the moment Saka got injured in January up until the window actually closed, the entire Arsenal fan base on social media, whatever app, these guys made it so loud and clear that they wanted a Bukayo Saka backup. They made it very loud and clear. Not even a Bukayo Saka backup. They just wanted new attackers all across the front line. They just wanted depth because they sort of blamed Arteta for running Saka into the ground, which is fair. I think we all knew that the amount of games that Saka wasn't playing it wasn't normal. And now we saw the consequence of that. Saka was out for 3 months with a hamstring injury. He tore it against Crystal Palace, I think, last season. And Arsenal struggled because they did not have the depth. So looking at the situation of that last January and seeing how the Arsenal fan base reacted, I don't get why they're so mad about this transfer. And I don't know if it's because it's Chelsea. I don't know if it's because of Madueke. I think Madueke is a good player. Personally, I think Madueke is probably Chelsea's best winger. If Mikel Arteta had signed Noni Madueke from Chelsea for £52 million to be a backup for Bukayo Saka, and also having plans to improve the left-handed side of the attack by signing either Eze, Rodrigo, we don't know that yet, then fair enough. Fair enough. I can get behind this. 52 million is steep, yes. But with the way the fan base and the fans were crying about having a backup for Bukayo Saka, someone to give him competition, someone who could allow him to rest. You know, you could play Madueke in cup games, you can play Madueke in some Champions League games. Essentially, when Arsenal don't really need to play Bukayo Saka, Madueke is there. I can understand that. I can understand Arteta's move there. Madueke is a direct player. From what I've seen of Madueke last season and bits of PSV, I know that he's direct. I know that he's Premier League proven in the sense where he knows the league, he's quick, he's direct, he can take you on, he's not afraid to take you on. He has a wicked left foot, he can cut inside, he can do damage. He has impact. But at the same time, if he has come to be a backup for Bukayo Saka, then I don't really understand why he's actually come to Arsenal in the first place. Madueke is 22 or 23, pretty much the same age as Bukayo Saka. He plays for Chelsea and he's regularly been starting there for the last year. I think he's played like 30 out of 38 games or something like that last season in the Premier League. So he's a starter for Chelsea. I think Maresca's actually come out and said that they didn't want Madueke to leave. No one told him to leave. It was his decision. So I'm trying to understand Madueke's point of view here because he was a starter for Chelsea, but at the same time, if it's true about Mikel signing him to be a backup for Bukayo Saka, he's gone to Arsenal to essentially be a depth player at the age of 22. I don't understand that. That I don't understand because Madueke has talent. He has promising features about his game. So why would he want to go to Arsenal where the number one right winger on that team, the one who has it on lock on probably until his contract or career ends, Bukayo Saka, why would he want to go there? He's never going to get game time there. For a person of his age, I can understand if he was like 30 or maybe 20, 27, 28, going towards the end of his prime or etc. That I can understand. But going there when he's 22 or 23 for the price of 52 million pounds to be on the bench, that I don't understand. I don't understand. So from that point of view, from Madueke's point of view, I don't really understand why he's gone. Unless there's something we don't know, something between him and Maresca or Chelsea, club to club, we don't know that. If there's something under the covers, then fair enough. But we don't know that. From what we know, if it's true about the whole backup, he's gone to Arsenal to essentially be a backup for Bukayo Saka, when Bukayo Saka is literally the face of Arsenal, and he's probably never going to be selected over Bukayo Saka when they're both fit. Now we got to consider the other side. If Mikel Arteta has signed Noni Madueke to be the new left winger for Arsenal, not even the backup for Bukayo Saka, to be the new left winger for Arsenal, that is an issue, in my opinion. That could be an issue. Madueke is not a left winger. And if Mikel Arteta wants to take the risk of turning Madueke into a left winger, I don't know if I can get behind that. Madueke had costed Arsenal £52 million. If they wanted a new left winger, why on earth would you not go out and pay the extra 25 million, which they can afford? Arsenal aren't, in financial trouble. They can afford it. Why would you not go out and get Rodrigo when he's literally screaming to be bought from Madrid? Why would you not go out and buy a more naturally left-sided player, not even a winger, someone like Eze? And to be fair, they still both could come, or one of them could come. I guess that's the whole debatable part about this transfer window. We don't know if Rodrigo or Eze are actually going to come to Arsenal. But if Mikel Arteta has signed Madueke to be a left wing and to actually take the risk of morphing him into this new left wing, similar to how he morphed Havertz into an 8 and it didn't work out, and then Havertz ended up playing as a striker, that could be an issue. I don't think Mikel Arteta is at a stage right now where he can take risks. He's been struggling to get over the line over the last 2 or 3 seasons with Arsenal. Signing Madueke to be the new left winger when you have better alternatives in the market, and signing him to get over that line, I don't know if that's a good idea. Now, in my honest opinion, Arsenal aren't done in this transfer window. They aren't done. They're still going to go out and sign Gyökeres, I think, hopefully, unless that transfer magically falls through. I think they're going to sign another winger. I think they're going to sign a left winger. I don't know who that's going to be. I don't know if they're going to get Eze and Rodrigo. I think that's being a little bit too optimistic. Especially because they still have Nwaneri, who's young and upcoming. So that's what I meant by there's two sides to this transfer. You have to consider him being a backup for Saka. You have to also weigh in the fact that he could be Arsenal's new left winger. So it's a bit of a 50-50 from what we know so far. But Arsenal have signed Madueke. I think that all in all, he does bring something new to the attacking line, which is something that Arsenal definitely lacked last season. I do think that Arsenal were a little bit too predictable in the way that they were attacking last season, which is what made them so flat-footed against opponents, which inevitably affected them to get over the line in certain results. So I think that Madueke coming to Arsenal is definitely a boost for them in terms of attacking depth. Obviously, we don't know where he's going to play or what role he's going to be for this team. But going back to the Arsenal fans and their whole reaction towards this transfer, I think they're being a little bit too immature. I've been seeing a lot of hashtags. I've been seeing a lot of no to Madueke, no to this, no to that, Arteta out. They gotta calm down. We're still in July. There's a month to go. A full month of the transfer window. No, not even a month. I think there's 2 months left of the transfer window to go. So there's still a lot of time for Arsenal and Arteta to make transfers to improve their front line, and I don't think that they're done in the market. They're definitely not done. So props to them for actually getting this over the line quite quick. It allows them to look to other attacking targets in the market. But that was just my honest opinion, my raw thoughts of this transfer. I think that the two sides needed to be considered. Let's see if this transfer actually ends up being a success, because that is something Arsenal do need. That's something that they're very pressured on for the next season. Yeah, I'm excited to see Madueke in an Arsenal shirt now, so hopefully that turns out to be well for them. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's a bit of a short one today, just a quick reaction to this, but I will see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe. All my socials are in the description below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.